Hello, hello. Do I have my earrings in backwards? No. Okay, sorry. We're gonna do this in one take and one take only. All right. So, I was tagged by barbieSTREiZAND, who I think is absolutely fabulous, and I decided to do this because it might, I don't know, might give somebody else a reason to not, freak out and think that they're the only person who's going through anything in life. Because hi, I'm here too. So, I guess the only way to start a story is at the beginning. So, I was born by the river. Just kidding. We're not gonna do that. So, life started in '91. I was when I was born. I was a really cute kid. I was overweight for most of my life. Well, all of it, obviously. um, I was a fat baby. I was cute though. I was really cute, chubby little. Oh, look at the little baby. I was one of those. And then I grew up into a fat kid, and it stopped being cute. People didn't like that. My mom didn't like it very much. It's not like it was more like oh, you're cute, but you'll get skinny. Just you wait there, Skipper. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Whatever. You're cute, but that was a lot of the big part of my life. So I was teased horribly, child please, from I want to say like the end of elementary school, like 4th grade through like 6th grade. So 3 years, I can count. 3 years. It was pretty bad. Like people hated me just because of how I looked. Like it was just like I didn't catch like, oh hey, it's just because of how you look. It's not because this, that, and the other. It's not because you suck as a person. I didn't catch that. So that developed into in 7th grade. I was 11. Things were okay. I still didn't like myself. Still wasn't feeling myself very much at all. 8th grade. 8th grade was when like I started to not like myself at all. 9th grade, I was 13, and that's when I started the depressed thoughts and the cutting and everything. That's when it all just sort of fell apart for me. It was bad. It was really bad. And my room at the time was in the attic. So when I didn't want to be bothered, or when I was just feeling like crap, I just went up to my room and I shut down. And at that time, my dad was dying too. And it was bad. It was just really bad because I felt like I wasn't good enough for him to stay alive for me. And I just felt like I wasn't worth it. My mom was still sort of like, okay, about that time, baby fat should be coming off. You're freaking 13. You're not a baby. Like, why are you not skinny? And Paige, my little sister, she was born when I was 7. And she was skinny. Oh, she was a rail child. She was a rail. And it was just like, well, why am I not a rail? I was very confused. And I just really hated myself a lot. And I thought I was this horrible, horrible monster. Because I think what all the kids had said about me from 4th through 6th grade finally caught up with me. And it might have stuck and planted a little bomb that exploded when I turned like 13 and 14. And it was just like, you're a horrible person. Like, you should not be alive. And so that's when the suicidal thoughts started too. So I was pill popping, doing whatever I could to not be in pain anymore and to not hate who I was. Because when you're high, you don't feel. So I was doing that. I was doing whatever I could to not feel, because everything I felt was crap. And I didn't want to feel that anymore. So, hey, they worked. So I did it. And from 13 to 15, I was cutting. I think it was 15. I remember one specific day. I went to the doctor. She went to take my blood pressure. And you have to roll up your sleeve when you take your blood pressure. And she decided she wanted to use my left arm. Fabulous. So she rolled up my sleeve and she was like, "What's this?" And I was like, because you can't explain that. And my mom freaked. She freaked. At that point, she knew that I was in a lot of pain. A lot of pain. And it was hard. It was really hard. So that happened. Then high school started. Well, that was already high school. I was 13. Duh. So then, like 10th, 11th grade, I was funny. I was hilarious, actually. Thank you. I was hilarious, and people like that. People like the big black girl who is very funny and can tell jokes. They like that. They're amused by it. So I amused people. I didn't let anybody get close enough to see that I was really a train wreck, of course, because that's not funny, and people don't like that. So I kind of steered clear of that. I kept my emotions bottled in, like deep down in there. And yeah, I only had a couple friends that really knew what was going on in my head. And yeah, that was sad. And my dad finally did die when I was 15. And that sort of, it struck me. It hit me pretty hard. You know, it kind of hit me like a moving train. So that was difficult for me. But the thing that really threw me for a loop was that I had a boyfriend at that time, and he was there for me, and he really made me feel like, hey, you're not worthless because somebody loves you, even though it was the most terrible, most emotionally abusive, most unhealthy relationship I have ever had in my entire life. And I am only 21, but I declare that it is the worst relationship I ever had in my entire life. Promise to God. But I stayed with him because it was like, you're fat. You're not going to get anybody else. Settle. Sit down. Stop. And it was just like, all right, well, whatever. He never said that. Well, he did say mean things, but he never said that. And I just kind of stuck with him for a while until I finally realized, wow, he's crazy. Let's not do this. So I figured I'd be alone. And I kind of settled for being alone for a while. And yeah, that was when I was 15. And then finally, like 12th grade, I remember it vividly because it was senior trip. So it was the very end of 12th grade. I got this burst of confidence and I kind of went natural. It wasn't this. It was horrible. But I tried it. I tried it .net and it looked, I tried to work it out. Okay. But I remember I kind of looked at myself and I was just like, hey, you're not that bad. And then I chopped off all my hair and I went to college. And right before I went to college, the summer before I went to college, I found Jesus. And I figured, hey, if Jesus loves me, like through all the stuff that I've probably put him through, you know, with trying to kill myself and everything, well, then why can't I love me too? And maybe I'm not as bad as I thought I was. Maybe it doesn't matter that I'm plus size. Maybe that's not a big factor in whether or not I should receive love. So I went to college with that mindset, and here I am now. 4 years later, mind you, but still got the same mindset because I figure that I am fabulous. Boop, get money. I'm fly. Seriously, I'm fly. I'm not being vain. That's not how I really am. Okay, just listen, interwebs. That's not how I really am. But you know, I just kind of finally found out who I was. Like 4 years ago, I finally found out, like, hey, I like music that's not about killing yourself. I like R&B. I love Jesus. I love him a lot. I like movies. Like, I finally found out who I was and found out what I liked. Like, I'm still figuring out what I like. Like, you know, wow, I really like thunderstorms and I like listening to Billie Holiday. Like, I didn't know that 4 years ago because I didn't know who I was, because I didn't take the time to figure out who I was, because I thought I already knew that I was a piece of trash. But by the grace of God, and that wonderful renewing of the mind that he talks about in his Bible that you should open up and read once in a while. I figured out that, hey, you're okay. You know, you're not perfect. Not at all. Not by a long shot. I have so much to work on. But you're not trash. And this is for anyone out there, and I'm not going to cry. This is for anyone who maybe feels like, hey, I suck. Life is not okay for me. It's not worth it. It is worth it, because you will make it through. And no, not gonna do it. Not gonna cry. Okay. And you will pull through. And if you just, wow, this is not happening right now. Wow. Okay. If you just stay strong and what? No, not now. Oh, gosh. I just did my makeup too. This is folly. This is absolute folly. But if you stay strong and keep God first, because throughout it all, he's the one that's going to bring you through it, everything, through all the tears, through all the screaming, all the yelling, all the anger, all the rage that you might feel, because there was a lot of rage in there too. He'll pull you through it, and you'll be sitting in front of the webcam one day telling people your testimony or your BBW story. I call it my testimony because child, please, without Jesus I would not be here. So there's my teary-eyed BBW story, testimony, whatever you choose to call it. It's mine, and I own it. So there we go. Sorry for getting all emotional and crying all over you, but it's just, that's it. So stay strong, and don't be afraid to cry, because, you know, it'll help, and time will heal all wounds, I promise, because it healed mine, and it's still healing some, because I still have wounds that need to be healed. But hey, it is what it is. Live your life, and be happy with who you are, and love who you are, because you have to love yourself first. Don't go looking for love in all these crazy places that you're not going to find it. Don't go looking for acceptance in all these crazy places that you're not going to find it. Look for it right here. Bow. Knowledge. Okay. Jesus loves you, and that's all. And I hope you like these earrings that I stole from my little sister.